Hey guys, welcome to your Align, Strengthen and Stretch flow. When you're ready, let's begin in a seated position, placing the hands where you feel comfortable. And let's start to tune inwards, shifting our focus to our breath, allowing the breath to expand your lungs, and then exhaling, opening the mouth to make space for the breath to travel out of the body and letting it all go. Taking as much time as you need to settle. And when you feel ready, transitioning into all fours, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. Let's begin with some cat-cows. On an inhale, arching the spine, and then on an exhale, rounding through the back, moving between these shapes, linking the breath with the movement to create a natural ebb and flow within the spine. 2 more breaths like this. And then on an exhale, walk your hands backwards and bring your toes to face the edge of the mat and your heels to touch. Place your hands in prayer position, ensuring that your elbows are pushing against your knees to come into a yogi squat. Holding here for 3 breaths as we open up through the hips, keeping the spine straight and the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. On your last breath, bring your hands down onto the mat and push into your feet, coming into a forward fold. Stay here for a breath as we stretch through the back of the legs. And then on an exhale, bring your hands to your knees, coming into a halfway lift. Hold here, and then exhale. Fold your hands back down to the mat. Begin to walk your hands out to the top of your mat and come into a downward dog, pedaling out through the feet. Bending and extending at the knees, creating more movement in the legs, releasing any tension from the legs and increasing our circulation. On your last breath, plant your left heel down onto the mat and windmill your right leg up and over, bending through the knee, coming into a 3-legged dog. Hold here for a breath, and then on an exhale, circle your right leg up and over, bringing your toes to face the front of the mat. Left leg is straight and your left foot is on a 45-degree angle. Bend through the right knee and reach your arms up towards the sky, coming into a warrior 1. Gaze is neutral and crown of the head is reaching up towards the sky. Stay here for 2 more breaths as we strengthen through the legs and lengthen the body long. And then on an exhale, windmill your arms to bring your right arm up over your head and your left arm to touch your left leg, coming into a peaceful warrior. Right knee is bent and gaze is neutral. Hold here for 2 breaths as we stretch out the side of the body and continue to strengthen through the legs. On an exhale, windmill your arms down onto the mat, bringing your right leg to meet your left leg. Hold here for a plank, tucking through the core. And then on an exhale, bend through the arms, lowering your body down onto the mat. Once your body is down onto the mat, lift through the chest, rolling your shoulder blades down and back. Gaze is looking up towards the sky to come into an upward facing dog. Hold here for 2 breaths as we stretch out through the lower back and the arms, and then bend through the elbows, bringing your chest down towards the mat. Inhale here, and then exhale. Push through the elbows, bringing your chest up and looking up towards the sky. 1 more time. And then exhale, fold down onto the mat. Place your arms by your side. Inhale here, and then exhale, lift the legs and the arms, coming into a locust pose. Hold here as we strengthen through the back. 2 more breaths here. And then on an exhale, lower your legs and arms down onto the mat. Inhale to prepare, and then on an exhale, place your hands on the arches of your foot and lift your chest up, coming into a bow pose. Holding here for 2 breaths. And then on an exhale, lower back down onto the mat. Roll over onto your back, then lift up your legs, holding onto the soles of your feet, coming into a happy baby. Rocking your hips from side to side to release any tension from the hips. And then maybe bending and extending at the knees to release any further tension from your legs. On your last breath, bring your legs into your chest and hug your knees into your body, lifting your head to meet your knees, and hold here. Lower back down onto the mat, and then bring both of your legs over to the right side and your head in the opposite direction, coming into a spinal twist. Holding here, and maybe placing your right hand on your knees to gently push your knees a little bit further away from your body. Two more breaths here, and then switch sides. Bringing your knees over to the left side and your head in the opposite direction, and holding here. Breathing into your spine as we open up through the back and the hips, creating more space and length to move freely. And then on your last breath, bring your hands to your knees and begin to rock yourself up, placing your feet onto the mat and coming into a fold. Inhale here, and then on an exhale, bring your hands to your knees. Stay here for a breath, and then exhale, fold. On an exhale, begin to roll yourself all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head and neck are the last to unfold. And then windmill your hands all the way up, interlacing your fingers at the top and pushing your palms up towards the sky. And then bending over to the right side, opening up through the left side of your body. Breathing here, and then switching sides. Dipping your upper body over to the left side, leaving your right side to open up. And then on an exhale, come back to center. Place your hands by your side and begin to tuck from the chin, upper body, upper back, mid-back, and lower back until your hands reach the mat. Stay here for a breath, and then on an exhale, push both of your feet back, coming into a downward dog, and pedal out through the feet. Push your heels back, staying here for a breath, and just noticing how you feel so far in the practice. On an exhale, lift through your left leg, bend through the knee, coming into a 3-legged dog. And then on an exhale, windmill your left leg up and over, bringing your left foot to the top of your mat with a bent knee. Back leg is straight and your back foot is on a 45-degree angle. Bring your hands to reach up towards the sky, coming into a warrior one. Stay here for 2 breaths. And then on an exhale, windmill your left arm up and over, bringing your right hand onto your right leg, coming into a peaceful warrior. Holding here for 2 breaths as we stretch through the left side of your body. And then on an exhale, bring your arms down to your side and bring your toes to point towards the edge of your mat. Inhale here, and then exhale, fold from the hips, bring your hands down towards the mat, coming into a forward fold. Knees can be slightly bent or straight to help stretch through the legs and the hips, improving our circulation as we stay in this inversion pose. And then move both hands over to your right leg, holding here to deepen the stretch in the back of our legs. And then switch sides. Take one more breath here. And then bring your hands to the top of your mat and lower your knees down onto the mat, pushing the hips up towards the sky and lengthening the upper body long, coming into a happy puppy pose. Stay here for 2 breaths. And then on an exhale, lower your knees to the side of your mat, bringing your toes to touch, and fold your upper body down onto the mat, coming into a child's pose. Focusing on your inhales and exhales, and allowing the breath to soften and release tension. Take 2 more breaths here. And then on an exhale, walk your hands back up, bringing your knees to touch and resting your hips on the soles of your feet. Place one hand on your head and your other by your side. Bring your left hand onto your head and gently pull your head down towards your right shoulder. Bring your left hand onto your head. Gently pull your head down onto your left shoulder, stretching the muscle in the side of your neck. Hold here, and then if you like, tilting your head backwards and forwards to deepen the stretch in the side of your neck. When you're ready, roll your head forward and then to the other side, bringing your right hand onto your head and gently pulling your head down to your right shoulder to stretch the muscle on the other side. Holding here before you rock your head forwards and backwards to stretch out the muscle. When you feel comfortable, rolling your head backwards and over to the other side to stretch out the right side of your neck one more time, and then coming to sit how you feel comfortable and windmilling the arms up and over and then back down. Repeat this 2 more times before we clasp the hands at the top and lower down to heart center. And in this moment, just noticing how you feel from the start of the practice and thanking yourself and your body for doing all that it does for you every day. And thanking yourself for showing up today to move to feel good. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night's sleep. Namaste.